Welcome to the AFCEA Leadership Forum 5-Question Series. I'm Fred Francis, for 30 years a senior correspondent with NBC News, and privileged to be working with AFCEA to bring you some very special guests to share with us the insights that made them significant leaders. We're delighted to have with us today Robert J. Carey. He's the Department of the Navy's Chief Information Officer. He has an extraordinary portfolio. He's responsible for all the information management and information technology for the Navy. He develops strategies, policies, plans, architecture, standards, and guidance, and provides process transformation support for the entire Department of the Navy. And if that were not enough service to the nation, Mr. Carey will soon be a captain in the Navy Reserves. He most recently served with the U.S. Marines during Operation Iraqi Freedom in Anbar Province. Mr. Carey, thank you very much for being with us. So let's begin here. What would you describe as a characteristic that most marks an individual as a potential leader?
A potential leader?
Potential leader.
You know, I would say someone who cares about these people who they believe they're going to help achieve a goal. So whether they're going to organize them, whether they're actually going to lead them, whether they're going to draw up a plan and somebody else is going to do it, that they have a passion about this objective and the people who are going to now perform feats to deliver that objective.
How do you measure that? I mean, what metric?
I don't think there's a hard metric. It is in here that you drive yourself towards, I care. You can demonstrate it in many, many ways, but that you care about their welfare in achieving this objective. And so therefore the discussion of motivation can come into mind, because now you build the trust up with them. They will now achieve something for you that maybe they didn't think they were going to at the outset, but they're willing to go past the 8-hour workday to deliver an outcome.
So that's the characteristic you're looking for in potential leaders. So now once it's a leader, what's the most important skill for a leader?
I think the most important skill, I mean, there are many, but I think one of the most important skills is these two things right here. To listen, know that you don't know everything. My experience in both uniform and wearing these suits, there are many a leader out there who believes he is a George S. Patton. By sheer brute force and personal aura, he can accomplish an objective. And there's a certain amount of that carries forward. But for the most part, learn to use your receivers before you then engage this oral instrument you have called your mouth and offer direction, because you have to be careful what comes out of your mouth they're going to go do.
So what are you looking for in a leadership style? That leadership style is working or failing. It's failing. What are you looking for?
In one that's not succeeding?
What are the indications?
Oh, well, you can, again, there are many. Morale's huge. You know, you can look at the team. Are you a cohesive family who shares and trusts one another to achieve objectives? And that doesn't mean that they're not goofing off occasionally. That means that they're willing to be a team as a unit. This goes back to sort of Hoosiers, you know. When you build the team thrives off one another. So when you don't see that,
that's a good analogy.
When you don't see that, you know, there's a challenge there. So there's attitudes, there's morale, there's are you getting things done? Are you delivering the quality items that you thought you would? Whether it's battle plans, achieving battle objectives, or it's drawing up, you know, strategic documents at the Pentagon level. Are you getting those done when you said you would? If not, why not? So I mean, there's quite a few ways to sort of see the tick, 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 it's not happening.
Describe for me your greatest failure in leadership and what you learned from it.
My greatest failure, and I thought about this long and hard, I love this question. My greatest failure was that, and I believe that I did not press myself. I'm a student of learning. And I think you have to be a student of learning your whole life, no matter how senior you get. You know, again, these things work, they always work. But as a reservist, early in my career, of course, the Civil Engineer Corps of the Navy said you will go off and get a professional engineering license, which I did not. I thought, yeah, when I get around to it. Well, when you get around to it after a few years, you've drifted away from how to do that. So I did not lead myself and make myself commit to achieving that objective in a timely manner. comes a time to become picked for command of CB battalions, something very near and dear to my heart. And at the time, this was a hard requirement. And at the time, there were many captains, many senior folks who said, you know, do you have this thing? And I said, no. I didn't go off and get it because I had become an SES. I had many things going on in my life. This was just not, I just did not make the time early in my career. So the leadership challenge that I had was sort of failing myself in my own goals and objectives, which is another huge trait. You know, what you self-commit to, you need to go deliver on. And so that's the one thing that I sort of regret that I let myself down on. Now it's turned out to be okay.
Was it harder to do later on, to do that?
Well, I didn't do it.
Well, you never did that.
Never did it. Well, because I couldn't get the time to go back and become an undergraduate engineer again. It's one of those things you would do in your mid-20s.
Sure.
So to now do it 25 years after college ended, you would think that's hard.
Yeah.
That's why I regret that.
Name for me one of your heroes and why you hold up that person as a hero.
You know, again, I looked at that question and I thought, who do I hold up? And there are many, but I have this picture in my mind of this young kid who is in a gun turret and he's getting ready to go on a patrol. He's leaving Fallujah. And he did not, if he shaved, it wasn't evident, you know. So I'm guessing he's not 20. And he's just up there ready to go. And I thought, lead truck, you're the man, you're it. And I thought, wow, you know, there's a hero. So I don't have too many, you know, bona fide heroes, but I have these young kids.
That's a good hero. Thanks for joining us and thanks for your service to the American people. This is Fred Francis for AFCEA and Signal Magazine. Thank you for watching.